Good morning and welcome to my Monday messages. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeopath, I'm a holistic health coach and all-round natural health advocate. And my Monday messages are just an opportunity for me to share any thoughts, any prompts, any simple practices that will help support us in finding the right rhythm for us, a rhythm that's healthy and that enables us to make the right choices for us and to improve our health, both emotionally, physically and spiritually. And so today, and if you're joining me, you're very, very welcome. And do give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. It's always good for me to know. And also, if you're joining me on watching the replay, you're equally welcome. Do pop any comments or questions in the thread below and I'll get straight back to you. So this morning, on this lovely early September morning, I am kind of aware that this week I have quite a lot on. I have quite a lot scheduled, and actually for the whole of this month, it's going to be quite a full month. So I've got pace in my forefront, in the forefront of my mind, basically, is how can I pace myself so that I get everything done. But I do it at a pace that is healthy for me, that isn't being driven by anyone else's pace. It's only driven by the different things that are driving those different things, but they're coming from me, not from anyone else. And it brought me in mind of one of my hobbies, which is hill walking. And if you're following me for any length of time, you'll probably be familiar with the various posts I put up when I've climbed a particularly challenging mountain, or lovely views that we've got here, plants, the company. I love it. And what drives me to do it is not competitive. It's not about being number one, getting to the summit first, or even keeping up, actually, conquering something. Those are not the things that drive me. They might be what drives you, though. When I'm hill walking, sometimes I'm only with one other person, but often the more challenging walks, I choose to be with a guide and with a group. And many of the group are actually much more experienced than I am. And actually, I'm just going to turn my sound off. Can I do that? No, I've forgotten to. Yeah. Sorry. Forgive me for this. I'm just going to put my do not disturb on so I don't get those notification sounds. There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm in a kind of mixed experience group, basically. And pretty much whenever we're on those more challenging walks, I'm the one who's last. And sometimes by what seems to be quite a long way. And I could let that bother me. And I've noticed that when I walk like that, when I first started, it did used to bother me. I did used to think, oh my goodness, I'm last. I need to really pick up my pace. I need to hurry up. I need to catch up. I can't keep them waiting. And basically, I must be like them. I must be going at their pace. And if I'm not, I'm failing in some way. And I realised over time that is just did not pay dividends for me. Even though sometimes I could do it, the cost was too much. I was so exhausted the next day, or even the rest of that day, that I couldn't actually do anything else. So the balance was not there. And what was happening for me was that I was allowing myself to get pulled in to other people's pace, not mine, I was pulled into their motivations for walking, which are not the same as mine necessarily. And it was kind of taking all the enjoyment out of it as well, because I was too focused on hurrying up and not being lost to notice my surroundings, to be able to stop and feel the breeze on my face, to listen to the incredible quiet, to look at the amazing plants that we've got up in the Kerry boglands and in the hills. Just incredible plants that I'm learning about all the time, and to look both down and up and around and really be present in the journey to get there. And for me, that's what it's all about. I have no interest in being number one, being the first to get to the summit or doing it within a certain time frame. Okay, nice bonuses if it happens that way, but that's not what drives me. What drives me is being out in that environment and noticing all my surroundings. So by trying to keep up with someone else's pace, I was abandoning all the things that actually drive me to do it in the first place. So every time I do those kind of walks where it is a bit challenging for me, especially going uphill, it's a great reminder of finding the pace that suits me. And pace is not about speed. Pace is about being able to keep going, but without it costing you too much. And obviously, we can apply that to everything in our lives, basically. And particularly, I think, when it comes to the way that we work, the way that we undertake commitments or chores or responsibilities, our jobs, our businesses, our parenting even, just, keeping going, basically, is very important to find a pace that doesn't cost you anything, that suits you, that enhances you, that enables you to feel, yes, a bit tired, especially if you're doing something physical like that, but in proportion to the energy that you've been spending on it, and that your recovery time is quick. It's not costing you so much, you haven't taken so much that it's really hard to climb back up again, excuse the pun. So that's my message today, really, is just to maybe be conscious this week of the pace that you do things and the pace that really suits you, so that you can actually do whatever you need to do and still get enjoyment, get pleasure, notice what's going on around you and what suits you, and that you're not taking too much from yourself in order to do that, or perhaps reaching for stimulants, even coffee, things like that, that will give you that false sense of pace. And I'm the first one to be guilty of that, let me tell you. When I find that I need coffee to get me going, that's a big red flag for me. And that's when I have to actually take a break from it, because it means that I'm probably more tired than I realise, and my body is desperate for some kind of false injection of energy. So I hope that makes sense, and that you can maybe have a look at perhaps individual things that you do that remind you, that maybe do challenge you a little bit, and that remind you of your energy, perhaps your physical energy, and what you're capable of, what you can sustain over a long period of time, rather than short, sharp bursts and then being exhausted. That is pretty much it for today. So I'm going to say have a brilliantly paced week. And let me know what you discover about yourself. It may be that you need to slow down. It may be that you need to pick up the pace a bit. It may be that you just need to have some kind of evening out of that pace, rather than whoosh and then nothing, whoosh and then nothing, which is a very adrenally charged thing. We can all be guilty of that, and the whole of the society we live in encourages us to do that. So that's my message. Just watch those adrenals, find your pace, find what drives you to do what you're doing as well, and don't be sucked into someone else's drivers, someone else's pace. Okay, I'll give it a rest now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.